Yes, يا رب العرش العظيم افتح النبي الكريم وأنا عبدك العاجز الضعيف والمسكين وزعل الجهل يا رب العرش العظيم. Inshallah, from the rahmah of Allah Azza wa Jal, that we don't claim to be anything and asking to take a path of being nothing, and that if not for the rahmah of Allah Azza wa Jal, that we are in non-existence. And a reminder for myself that we talk a little bit now before I fall asleep, because the zikr, the mafia keep going and we've been travelling since early morning. So I said I better talk now before I pass out. The reminder for myself from the way of the turuqs is a school of adab, that we're not coming to show how much Qur'an we've memorized and how many hadiths we've memorized, but these are the schools of adab, and they teach us the ways of marifah and how to have good character, so that Allah's rida dress us, Prophet's rida dress us, awliyaullah's rida dress us, and we should find success in our life, dunya, and most importantly our akhirah. And a reminder for ourselves that from these schools of akhlaq, they're teaching us that before we think how big we are, how much we memorize, how much we pray, that if you come to just your shahada, وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا عَبْدُهُ وَحَبِيبُهُ وَرَسُولُهُ, you don't see it, so your shahada is not correct. You're imitated shahada. So before we have to go into too much ulum and trying to prove who's who and who's what, go back and always remember that, Ya Rabbi, my shahada is not real, because I'm not witnessing you and I'm not witnessing Sayyidina Muhammad. Because Prophet described maqam al-ihsan, pray as if you see Allah. So there are people who through their heart they can pray with what Allah wants them to see, they see. And there are many from Salihin and awliyaullah who in their salah they see Prophet and they say, As-salamu alayka ayyuhan Nabi. In present tense, Prophet must be facing them, not the back of Prophet, but wajhik al-kareem, the holy face of Prophet must be facing them. So they give this as an understanding that this is our goal, to reach to maqam al-ihsan and to make our Islam to be real. Because if that shahada becomes real, then the next is the salah becomes real. The zakah is they sacrifice themselves entirely and they become mukhlis. Their whole life is to live a life of sacrifice, and their Ramadan is through all of their senses. The muttaqeen is that they have taqwa over all 5 senses. They're not just, they say they have taqwa and they're granted taqwa, they have the taqwa and of their hearing, where Allah accepted their hearing and they released a level of sincerity. They have taqwa through their seeing, they have taqwa through their breath, they have taqwa through their hearing, they have taqwa through their feeling, and their qadam is based on taqwa. وَكُنُوا مَا صَادِقِينَ ittaqullah. Allah describing these muttaqeen that they are completely in submission, means this is the goal. Then when we come into our own lives, they're reminding us with all the nat sharif and all the crime, because we're all the people of Ahl Muhabbat. So alhamdulillah we're almost halfway there, because there are many people who don't have the love, and their practice and their amal is not based on love and muhabbat. But alhamdulillah that the way of muhabbat, that we're making the nat sharif, we're making the sharif, we're doing the mahfil, we're doing the zikr, and then they're reminding to us that with all that we're doing, it's not entering into the heart. It's not entering into the heart so that we can reach to the maqams of sincerity. That's what's important in our life, is that with all that we're doing and reciting and what we're crying, don't worry, it'll be a distraction, don't worry about that. Yeah. InshaAllah. Because everything shaitan comes to make a distraction, then we make everything upside down, then this what's coming from information will be cut. Means that everything that we are doing is to reach that goal. So important for us, they give the goal that we are trying to reach, to see Prophet to make our Islam to be real, to reach to maqam al-ihsan. And if we're not reaching there, there's something wrong in the amal that we're doing. And when we're crying for Naat al-Sharif and crying for the Mahfil means that love is there. But what is it in the character, the not opening sincerity? And that's the way where Prophet described, who knows himself knows his Lord. Means these are the people of tafakkur and contemplation. If I want to know my Lord, I have to know myself. I have to sit on a nightly basis and make tafakkur, contemplate with my heart. And in that tafakkur you make a muhasabah, that every night, the way they told us is every night you make a tafakkur. That, Ya Rabbi, I want to reach and I'm not reaching. My shahada is not real, my salah is not real, my zakah is not real. It's all by the rahmah of Allah that He's keeping us going. Because we are not yet Rijalullah. The Rijalullah Allah granted their amal to be real. If we didn't reach to that, every night we should be in a tafakkur and contemplation. And then they remind us, Ya Rabbi, that when I'm making tafakkur, what am I doing wrong? Who did I harm today? Who did I aggravate today? Who did I hurt with my tongue and I affected their heart? All of that will be in an account that blocks the heart of the believer. If we don't take a nightly muhasabah, then we are wasting our time with all the amal that we're doing. Because you're going one step forward but 10 steps back. Means you do all these actions of love and all of these practices of love, but all day long we're hurting people with our hands, with our actions, with our tongue. And that we're doing things that maybe Allah not pleased with, Prophet not pleased with, awliyaullah not pleased with, and we find no growth in our life. We find that nothing is growing, nothing is blossoming, and most of all your rizq will come short. Your hand becomes short to what Allah wants to give. Because when Allah is rida and satisfied, He's dressing upon the soul. Allah's rida dresses the soul and the rizq hits the soul, means the lights and beatific lights and the knowledges and angelic power dress the soul. When the soul is abundantly dressed, the rizq of the physical body is overflowing. Is when you run after dunya, dunya running away from you. When you're running towards Mawla, toward Allah, dunya is chasing after you. So then they begin to recalibrate the compass. That if these things, I'm meeting this criteria where my shahada is not real, I have love of Prophet, we're all here with love of Prophet, but why am I not seeing Prophet? Is he hiding from me? Or he's right there in front of me. Oh my salah, salaamu alayka ayyuha nabi. But why is my amal not good enough and Allah didn't grant sincerity enough that this veil to be lifted? And they begin to teach from these characters that when you take a muhasabah and accounting of yourself, everything will come under that accounting. And then Allah many times inspired awliyaullah to look at my nature. Don't look at humans. Humans, they have big head and big egos. Look at the nature. And one famous one was Jalaluddin Rumi, was looking and making tafakkur, and we have many naats and we have many poetries. He's making a tafakkur and he put a flame, because they used a candle, the barakah of a candle. As soon as you light a candle for ibadah, there's malaika attached to that candle. As long as that light is lit, they are praising on our behalf to the Divinely Presence. So they would light, to read Qur'an and to do the durood, they would light a candle. He lit a candle and he's looking at the flame and mesmerized by the fire, knowing that this fire is the fire of the ashiqeen, that this fire is the condition of his heart. That if my heart is not lit and I'm not feeling the love for Prophet, not feeling the love for Allah, it's a dead heart. He's looking at the candle and he's lost in the understanding of being ishq and to be in love with the Divinely Presence, and what he sees is the moth. And the moth comes and goes right into the fire. It's big. Allah is just saying, with all your big size and all your big head, you can't sacrifice one bad characteristic, you can't sacrifice anything. Everything has to be your way, everything has to be the way you like. You pick and choose friends based on you, but not based on whom Allah loves and who Prophet loves. A mukhlas, they don't care what somebody did to them. This is not about a vengeance, this is not about me, it's the me that has to die. My desires, my ananiya, my pharaoh inside me that says, Ana Rabbiyal A'la, that this one was bad to me, I'm not talking to him anymore. Who are you? You're pharaoh? Allah didn't care about you. The mukhlas, Samina wa ata'na. Ya Rabbi, you want that one? I'm of service. You don't want that one? I'm of service. And they live their whole life with that understanding. It's not about what I want, it's not about what my desire is. It's my desire and my want that blocking everything from ikhlas. So he's looking at the flame and the moth goes like a bomber right into that flame, not thinking anything of itself and completely burned. Who can do that? Who can copy just one example of Allah's creatures? And then he's, subhanAllah, Ya Rabbi, what coordinates you gave to this moth, how it sacrificed itself completely for your love. Because why the moth goes to the fire? Have you seen the bugs outside? When you put candles and then back home, all the bugs go straight into the fire because they remember this fire. They see that fire as a fire of ishq, of Divinely Presence, and they don't think anything and go into that fire. That for us is a reminder that every time you have mushkilat in your life, it wasn't about you coming and making everything comfortable, everything payable, everybody in love and in happiness and in romance. Allah said, just you copy not all my Rasools, not all the Sahabi, not all these big buzurga, copy my one moth. What do we call the moth in Urdu? Parwana. Parwana. It's like we say butterflies, parwana. Copy one of these parwana and I'll be so happy with you. Means every time you hit the flame, and everybody knows when they have a fire. When things are coming short and you feel difficulty, means, Ya Rabbi, let it to go. Why Allah is burning you? Because He wants to burn everything other than His love. Everything else has to go. We just saw a big fire. 70,000 sayhatan wahidatan, means that in one moment Allah gave a command, entire city was taken out by fire. Allah giving us so many different examples that when I don't want something, I don't want it in you. The understanding of Jahannam is what? Everybody has to go through the fire. Why everybody has to go through the fire? Because all that exists other than Allah is going to be burned. That all this garbage you're bringing with you, of your nafs, of your desire, of your money, all the things you want, you've attached them to yourself. My kingdom, none of that can come. First go through the firewall. So we have computers that Allah again teaching us through our computer. Everybody who's worked on computers, they have a firewall. Why? They're not going to let that virus inside. If Allah is teaching you through the computer that your virus can't get into that computer, it will shut it down. So how am I going to let your virus into my paradise? Because these are then the realities of our life. Why wait for Allah to burn? Why wait for Allah to say, oh you have too much excess baggage, let's keep it right here and start to burn it away. Ashaqeen and Ahl Tafakkur, they understood that, Ya Rabbi, I'm halfway there, I have the love. You granted me a huge ni'mah that you put this love. قُلْ إِنِّي كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحِبُّكُمُ اللَّهُ. Then Allah says, I gave you halfway, I gave you that love to seek out Prophet and I'm going to love you. When I love you, I'm very jealous. When I look into your heart, I don't want to see a woman in your heart. I don't want to see your Mercedes in your heart. I don't want to see your bank accounts in your heart. I don't want to see your ananiya, that you pick and choose based off of who and who's been nice to you and bad to you. You be a servant of mine, and whoever did whatever they did for you, did to you, it's not your business. That I'm your Lord, I'm the one who sustains you, and you are my servant, and you merely serve Allah. And these are the mukhlas, that they don't put their opinion in anything. Allah loves the one, they dispatch them and they send the message. Allah doesn't love the one, they have nothing to do with it. But they don't put themselves in the middle of that scenario. And in everything in our lives they want us to take a tafakkur. They try to reach a level in which we willingly burn away all the excess baggage. When Allah is showing the fire is very near. In one moment another fire comes, in one moment another catastrophe comes, in one moment an earthquake comes, in one moment a tsunami comes, and everything will be taken away, and at that moment you'll be in the presence of Allah with only your character. Means Ahl Turuq and Ahl Haqaiq, Ahl Sunnah wa Jama'ah, they carry a tremendous responsibility. They're trying to wear the sunnah and keep the sunnah to show their love for Sayyidina Muhammad. If you are loving Sayyidina Muhammad, you are an ambassador for Prophet. And Prophet was rahmatan lil alameen, not the beater of people and the curser of people and the tribal person of people. He broke all barriers, he loved everyone. He tried to bring everyone to the love of Allah. And Prophet then teaching, if you're going to carry my sunnah, at least be an ambassador for ishq and for love. That you fight only yourself, you come against only yourself, you should only have, the only enemy you should have is yourself. And every night you're sitting in tafakkur crying, Ya Rabbi, this self of mine like a zombie, it's not going anywhere. And every night I'm looking at myself and realize I did everything wrong that day. I'm loving everything other than you. How many people made a hijrah into this region with the intention for money and not for Allah and His Rasul? You moved away from Allah and His Rasul because the intention was for money. What Allah showed you with that, in one day, 8 hours, that intention was burned. Now you look back, there's nothing there. This is a sign. There's a tremendous amount of believers in this area, and Allah loves them. And Allah is warning for us that if you're loving dunya, dunya is going. If you're happy with your bad character, you're going to see difficulty in the grave. But if it's me that you love and Sayyidina Muhammad that you love, then take a nightly accounting. Take a muhasabah that, Ya Rabbi, what am I living for? I'm living for money and day-to-day pay. Money's everywhere, but I should be living a life in which I'm serving Allah through His beloved Sayyidina Muhammad. The khidmat al-Nabi Kareem means that do whatever you can do for the love of Prophet. You travel great distances for the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Why? So that maybe Prophet's nazar will be upon you, and that Prophet be happy with you and take mushkilat and difficulty away from you. I pray always for myself, as a reminder for myself, that difficulty all around us, don't be so quick to think that we have to throw it off and to get it to be prayed off, but to find the hikmah and the wisdom. That if a moth goes into the fire and completely surrenders itself for the love of Allah, or if we are ashiqeen of Sayyidina Muhammad, at least we can put the wing near the flame to get a little bit of, okay, the difficulty is making my life a little sweeter. When you have difficulty, you cry unto Allah. When you have difficulty, you're crying unto the Prophet. Ya Sayyidi Ya Rasul Kareem, take my case to Allah. That is dear to them. But why you have to be in difficulty to achieve that? You can achieve that every night. Ya Rabbi, I don't need difficulty. I love you so much, I'm trying to change my character. I'm going to beat myself down. Every time somebody offends me, I'm going to go with more love to them. Every time they insult my character, I'm going to go with more love for them. I'm going to scrub myself. I don't need you to scrub me. We pray that Allah opens these realities in the holy month of Sha'ban, now coming Laylat al-Bara, in which Allah will write the destiny of the souls. We pray that Allah write a good destiny for us, filled with rizq and satisfaction, light of Islam, Iman, wal maqam al ihsan, and the nazar of Sayyidina Muhammad be upon us, awliyaullah be upon us, and with the rizq and satisfaction to dress us. Ilahi anta maqsoodi wa ridat matlub. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon. والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. حرمة محمد المصطفى وسير سورة الفاتحة. إن شاء الله.